Kano.
Mortal Kombat was Street Fighter's main rival in the battle of the 2D fighting games. While Mortal Kombat is a very shallow and, let's be honest, pretty rough game that only found success due to its gore and shock value, it continued to evolve into a fairly balanced game with good gameplay over the years. Was it ever more popular than Street Fighter? Not really, but it sure took away a lot of coins from Capcom's arcade giant at the time. Playability wise, Mortal Kombat is a bit lame. The CPU cheats by trapping you in the corner or constantly beating you while you find it impossible to block. The controls feel stiff and unresponsive at times, and special moves are a pain to pull off in the heat of the moment. Despite all of that, Mortal Kombat had its fans, which led to many ports.
Liu Kang win. Fatality. Liu Kang wins. Flawless victory. Finish him. Excellent. Raiden wins. Johnny Cage.
The first port to hit the homes was for the Super Nintendo. While it's very impressive graphically, it's missing the blood. A mistake that Nintendo paid dearly for. A game that was all about the gore isn't going to win you customers when you remove that key feature. Sega were there to pick up the ball, managing to steal some of the thunder from Nintendo's dominance in the console war. Despite not having any blood, the SNES version of Mortal Kombat plays quite well, if not a little slow. It sure sounds the part and even looks the part.
Fight. Liu Kang wins. Fight. Liu Kang wins. Excellent. Finish her. Liu Kang wins. Fight. Sub-Zero wins. Sub-Zero wins.
The Mega Drive was the home version that everyone wanted to play, but not just because of the blood, which you did have to switch on with a code, but because it played more like the arcade. While this may be true, the Mega Drive version is missing a lot of the animation and speech, not to mention an awful lot of graphical detail from the play areas. The color palette is also pretty grainy, which doesn't help the game in the looks department.
Fight! Fight! Test your might. Test your might.
Now this is an improvement over the original Mega Drive release. Forgetting all about the poor full motion video intro, you can clearly see and hear that this version follows the arcade more closely than the Mega Drive release. There's far more detail in the stages, and even the character sprites have been given a clean up. There are still some speech samples missing and other little details, but as it stands, this is a very good port.
Liu Kang. Liu Kang wins. Fatality. Fight! Get over here! Get over here! Scorpion wins.
Who would have thought the Master System would see an official release of Mortal Kombat? I sure as hell didn't at the time. As you'd expect, this version is severely cut back. There's just so much missing from it, but saying that, it is a competent fighter for the Master System, and pretty impressive really. The Game Gear version is basically the Master System version, but now all squashed up to fit on the lower resolution Game Gear screen. There's not much more to say, to be honest. Oh no, here we go with the completely unplayable Game Boy port. Looking poor and sounding like crap isn't enough. Probe had to make this one a game of luck. The controls are so bad that it's unplayable, easily the worst official port of Mortal Kombat ever made. And staying with the dung, we have this unofficial heap from China. This mess is known as Mortal Kombat 5 Turbo 30, developed by Yoko, and I use the word developed very loosely. This load of rubbish tries to improve on Mortal Kombat by adding characters from other SNK and Capcom fighting games. What we end up with is a complete mess that is impossible to control. Now this is a surprise, an Amiga arcade port that's playable! Mortal Kombat on the Amiga seems to be based upon the Mega Drive version, but with an amazing amount of loading and a worse colour palette. Saying that, this port does play reasonably well. Sure, there's a bit of lag in the controls, but compared to other Amiga one-on-one fighters, this is very impressive. The game even uses multiple buttons, which begs the question, why do so many Amiga games have ass-backwards control schemes when multi-button controls are doable? If you own an Amiga and want a quality arcade fighter, then you can do a lot worse than Mortal Kombat.
You can win. Fight. Finish him. Excellent. Liu Kang wins. Fatality. Finish him. Liu Kang wins. Fight. Sonya wins.
Possibly looking better than any other home port, the MS-DOS version easily has the most animation and background detail out of all the ports and even plays really close to the arcade version. But what has happened to the music? I'm running this version with Roland and Sound Blaster 16 audio on. Surely this can't be how it should sound.
Liu Kang. Fight. Liu Kang wins. Fight. Finish him. Liu Kang wins. Fight. Finish him. Sonya wins. Test your might.